Alright, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, DB Smiley, casting third game of the night. Granted, one was a replay, maybe cheating a little bit. But we are heading now into Battlefield of Eternity. This was a map pick by Lionspeed as they go on to face 2+2. 2+2. Team returning, as is Lionspeed, in fact, to Division A. Lionspeed, though, had quite a few roster changes due to people moving on, so still trying to regroup, trying to find their footing with this new roster. They see this game as just a way to practice. 2+2, though, they definitely want to be challenging up towards the top, so they're looking for nothing less than victory here. So we'll see what happens heading into this game. It should be a good game, as we're seeing a Kel'Thuzad ban first. Kel'Thuzad can be great on the choke points in this map, so we'll see what happens there. But these two teams, both in Division A of the Nexus Gaming Series. That is the top division. I am a player in Division B, so therefore I have no right to commentate or say that they do anything negative, and yet I will still do it, because I'm a terrible person. So join me on this ride, if you will. This was Lionspeed's map choice, which is why 2+2 on the left is getting first pick. 2+2 will be taking us into, which map again? Dragonshire on the second rotation. Towers of Doom and Warhead Junction were the banned choices. As my OCD kicks in, and I fix an image by a pixel. Actually, more than a pixel. There we go. Perfect. Garrosh ban into a Greymane. Greymane incredibly powerful on this map. And you know who else is powerful on this map? Vala. ETC also great, just really hard to get through those choke points, and those two bushes that are in the middle are just terrifying when you're playing against an ETC. So, pretty standard pick so far. There's an Abathur, though. An Abathur, I love it, actually. I authentically love that choice. You are going to struggle before level 10 when you have the clone, with as much team fighting as can happen on this map. Muradin, though, gonna be just such a solid anchor. Where has Muradin gone? I'm glad Muradin's made it back into the game. He was out of the game for so long. What? He wasn't out of the game? He was just... What's that? He was out of the... What? I'm talking to myself? This joke is old and unfunny? What? Okay, my producer is telling me that I need to stop with the fourth wall breaking jokes because they're really bad, and also I have no producer. Muradin can be pretty strong, really decent, good counter DCC. He has the Stormbolt with range. He's just bulky as all get out. And he can really pressure that Vala. Keep in mind, of course, W has the baseline auto attack slow. It's had it for quite some time now. It's been a while. But Uther ban coming out. Interesting, because I think they could have gone into something like an Uther Ariel and have been unkillable. Uther would have been good for the Holy Cow comp, but we're seeing the Morales ban, possibly something they scouted from Lionspeed. Morales, of course, in a very interesting place right now. They changed her up, and it took a while, but I think a lot of teams are starting to recognize that she might actually be quite a bit stronger. Being a mana-less healer, yes, you have a duration on how long you can persist in a fight. But you know what? I like that ban. I like the ban because the grenades can be really annoying on this map. Obviously, combat stim just speaks for itself. But we'll see what happens here. Really good draft so far. I like this. It shows some degree of scouting. It also shows some degree of respect for the current meta. But what are the next two picks? Sorry, I'm just taking some drinks here as a way of staying fresh. Stukov! Yes! Yes, I'm so happy. I'm clapping. I'm so happy. Stukov Tassadar. I love this. Yes! Haha, I love Stukov. He can be so powerful on this map. I hope I see a Popping Pustules build. I would love to see a Popping Pustules build into Greymane. I think you can get away with it with the Tassadar keeping the Vala up. I am so excited for this game now. I love Stukov. He's one of my favorite heroes, not just to play, but also to watch. He's even more fun than watching Tassidar's head bug every once in a while during this screen. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. D.Va Rhaegar. So they're going with the solo damage hyper carry Greymane. But just so much zoning potential with the D.Va. With the Rhaegar, you know, you have the Ancestral. You have so much burn. So we're going to see probably a lot of Muradin and D.Va just trying to zone off while Greymane and Rhaegar just burn and go to town. I really like this draft at a 2+2. There's a lot of potential for some really hyper-aggression plays. We'll see what happens. But I'm already rooting for Lionspeed because I love Stukov. Stukov is love. Stukov is life. What is this last pick, though? Maybe lacking a little front line. Yep, they're going to bolster that with the Arthas. I love this combo, Arthas, ETC, Stukov. It's so much control. I can't wait for this game. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. Now, as you'll notice, I am alone. NGS, you know, we definitely have casters. We actually have several games going on right now. I think there's 3 different games happening concurrently at the moment. So we're spread, you know, but if you're looking to get into the casting game, come check it out. But yeah, at Nexus Gaming Series, we've been doing some really good work here. The admins have in setting up this league. Ace and Rory have done a great job organizing a team of casters to get out there and cast some games. Carnivore, who was with me in the last game, had to go to bed. You know, it's 11 p.m. on the East Coast. I should probably be in bed. I have to be at work early tomorrow. Oh well. Bad life choices. But that was a super, super fast loading screen. Here we are. And we are going to see Axon on Pajamather, McNulty on that D.Va, Skipgim, Skigim, Skigim. That's fun to say, so I'm going to go with that. On Greymane, Hollis going to be on that Muradin, and Rhaetor on the Rhaegar. Oh, Boozy Goosey is going to be on Tassadar. Varcheesi going to be on ETC. Azukai going to be on Vala. Sechel going to be on Stukov. And Big Wiz going to be on Arthas. I am probably saying those names wrong, but here we'll see. It's going to be 3-man bottom, D.Va in the top, Abathur kind of helping D.Va push that lane. D.Va doesn't have the best wave clear, but not a slouch. Certainly pretty hard to bully out of lane, although the lack of self-sustain can make it a bit troublesome. So we'll see what kind of value we get. Both teams playing just incredibly safe so far. Arthur's not even really contesting that D.Va. Now coming up, blowing the E, but here comes that Abathur hat. Meanwhile, Gage is happening on bottom. As we pull up our talents, Tassadar going into that auto-attack build, so he's going to try to stack that early. And actually quite a few stacking quests. Eternal... I have to hope this is a bug with the UI, but Frostborn Hungers, going Eternal Hunger, going Prog Rock, seeing Templar's Will, Hungering Arrow, or Monster Hunter, excuse me, Hungering Arrow build, not too big a surprise, is actually Hollis with the Stukov, getting the silence on the Rhaegar. Now, Rhaegar's sustained healing went up, we talked about this in the last game, he did see some changes today. But still, in this early game, Stukov is going to be able to sustain much better overall. Where Stukov lacks is dealing with a single target blow-up. That's kind of his weakness, so we'll see, you know, presumably 2 Greymanes trying to make that happen as D.Va gets knocked out of her mech and actually gets rooted here. McNulty in a little bit of trouble and actually just trying to trade out with the Abathur and does get the kill! Oh my goodness, and the B-steps! Drop those B-steps, McNulty. You earned them. Drop those B-steps. What a great job. As already a cannon tower taken by Lionspeed. You know, Arthas gets picked off in the top lane, though, so they do lose some experience, but really good job in the 4v3. They do have to get these early man advantages. We are seeing a little bit of a defense here. ETC's actually so low. Gonna have to power slide out. Gonna be able to do it. We're seeing Skigum on that Greymane start to rotate up. But... great play by D.Va. I love this choice. Don't get in your mech. Just burn. Just burn in pilot mode. The pilot mode DPS is extremely high. Greymane sticking around, just hanging downstairs. Abathur rotating to bottom now. Arthas up top, but actually, sorry, T-Tors as ETC gets picked off as an engage happens, and that's a huge win for 2+2, as now they start to aggress. Stormbolt missed, though. Looking at this build, we are seeing Fetid Touch. I expect to see this head towards something of a targeted excision build. Looks like 2+2 just gonna push in on this bottom. Or sorry, not 2+2, Lionspeed. Just gonna push in on this bottom and try to get value. But that is a pretty healthy amount of shields for 2+2. And it's gonna be a bit difficult, I think, for all of this to get cleared before some real damage happens. But now Muradin in a bad spot. Great silence. Muradin down to about 165 health. He's going to get away. Meanwhile, the turnaround onto Varcheesi and Boozygoozy, but they're going to be able to get behind the wall. But this Immortal just has so much shielding. Cannon shots starting to weaken it a bit. It's down to about half. This Immortal doesn't have the biggest health pool. Arthas still top, getting the soak, but McNulty going to come in with the expulsion zone. Face Melt going to push it away, but it's still going to do some damage. Of course, it only does half damage to structure, so not huge. As Azukai inside of the defensive matrix, going to do less damage there. Apologies for that, everyone. Could not stop the sneeze, but that is a fort going down in favor of 2+2 now. And so all of that pushing you got in the bot lane, it's all for naught now. As this first Immortal had an 80% shield thereabouts, and this is going to let a Siege Camp get picked up by Greymane and Rhaegar, and just look how quick of work they're going to make of this. As we do see Greymane go into the cocktail build, Clean's taken Mule, actually the pick by Abathur. Last hero in the game with Mule. Aggressive Matrix, Iron Forge momentum. Going into Sledgehammer, interesting. So Muradin definitely trying to commit to the Immortal burn here as well. Normally you would see that Thunder burn here, the second hit to pair with Healing Matrix. That opens up Thunder Strike at 13 for some big potential damage. McNulty, though, just burning down this top tower. Big Wiz a bit afraid to deal with this Abathur-hatted Vixen, Diva. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Hollis getting a bit low. Varcheesi trying to make a fight happen. But even 4v3 so far, nothing doing. We are seeing vigorous reuptake taken alongside the target excision. So definitely trying to play for something of the late game here. One good spread, probably a bit more meta. Oh, but that, oh my goodness. Muradin had 17 health. And that's got to be a feels bad man for Azukai. They do manage to get the healing fountain on the bottom. Greymane diving in. Meanwhile, this Diva just continues the pressure off that's up in the top lane. Vala, about a fifth of the way done with her quest. We are seeing, of course, Kala's Embrace. Not too surprising. Power Slide. Once again, Muradin. Face Melt was there, but the silence didn't get value. Skigum taking quite a bit of damage, as is Rhaetor, from that Vala. Echo Pedal taken by ETC. Rune Tap by Arthas. So expecting to be able to get a lot of auto attacks off. We'll see what happens as both teams rotate to their respective sides. Now, Greymane and Rhaegar aren't there yet, so this is a slight lead over to Lionspeed at the moment. But the second Rhaegar and Greymane show up, this thing is going to start getting burnt. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Diva just find an excuse to use her self-destruct here for zoning, just to get that better DPS. But we are going to see a defense here. Stun onto that Arthas. Now Diva in the backline. Could use the self-destruct. McNulty getting low. There's the self-destruct now, but McNulty in kind of a bad spot and gets the cleanse, but that is one dead Diva. Outside of her mech, she's weak. Meanwhile, this whole time, Greymane just trying to burn the bottom, and he's going to win that race for the time being, but now Vala, unmolested, just going to be able to queue this Immortal, and with the help of her teammates, Lionspeed, going to take the second Immortal. And this was important because, you know, 2+2 is very close to 10. If they pick up 10 with that Immortal, it goes from threatening, like, easily taking top fort and threatening keep wall to taking a keep. Because if you are down that level 10 advantage on Battlefield of Eternity, it is so hard to pick it up. Arthas, once again, in the side soak lane with Diva. as the pressure comes up. Level 10's about to be picked up for both teams. Ancestral Healing from Rhaegar is the first one taken. Avatar. Obviously the clone, not at all surprised to see that. Pilot Mode from D.Va. And Cursed Bullet. As ETC slides in, here comes the clone onto the Greymane. Gonna force a disengage here. Just recognizing, like, guys, we can't fight into that clone. We're seeing Strafe and Archon and Flailing Swipe taken from the Stukov. Army of the Dead and Mosh are about as routine as it gets, but D.Va has pushed Arthas all the way back to his own wall. Rotation coming down. And D.Va actually in a little bit of an awkward position. Thinks about hearthing. Not going to happen, and now this D.Va is not in a good spot. There's no escape here for McNulty. Great pick off on the side of Lionspeed, but there's no one up in the top. A top fort does go down. Roll 20 banner, so I guess I have to cover that up. I can't let you see that competitor team who I cast for, but it seems like Lionspeed really wants... Oh dear. We're getting into the child molestation jokes. Arthas clearing up this top Khazra camp. Khazra camps did get a buff today, but they're no joke. Actually, ETC going with the Mosh. Great cleanse onto Hollis. ETC does not escape out of the Mosh. And now Flailing Swipe just trying to secure the disengage. ETC so low, just trying to buy time for that big heal to come out. No chance for targeted excision with all the death ball behind them. And now this is just a hardcore chase. 5 people. Boozy Goozy goes down. Varcheesy might be the next to fall. There is the cocktail, but Varcheesy gets away 94 health. But he escapes. But now, this is a keep wall going down in favor of 2+2 as they start to approach those big level 13 talents. Really interested to see what Muradin takes here. But this is a big Immortal Burn advantage. We are seeing Hollis positioned defensively to let his team get the burn. I don't see an easy way for Lionspeed to engage here. They may have to wait for halftime, but they're going in for it. There's the power slide into the face melt. D.Va silence, running through the silence, gonna be able to get away, but now Hollis is just so low. Ancestral coming down on the Greymane, looking for a turnaround, but the Strafe is just absolutely getting value as Greymane goes down. Muradin managing to get out of that, but now Rhaegar, 169 health, he's gonna get away, but this is now an Immortal Burn in favor of Lionspeed, and they're just chunking it with this Vala. And they, in fact, win the race on the halftime show by about 2,000 HP. But now, counter engage from McNulty. Arthas, though, in the back. Rhaegar's got to be careful. There's the face melt into the silence by Stukov. 13 talents now in favor of 2+2. There's the self-destruct. Going to create some awkward separation. Failing Swipe burn just to try to help get back to the fight. But Boozy Goozy is just so low on that backside. With the shields, he's at... Oh, now Arthas looks like he might fall down to 300, down to 100. He does go down to that final auto attack as Greymane and Rhaegar show back up. Varcheesy now being the target, but Vala, or Stukov, sorry, gonna get locked down. That clone trying to do everything he can and gets the final auto attack to kill the ETC. It's a 3-for-0 trade in favor of 2+2, and they will finish this Immortal. It will walk into the enemy's keep on bottom, I believe. No, it will go top. And it will go top with about 11,700 health in shields. A big advantage here, but talent tiers are equal. We are seeing Lingering Spines taken. We are seeing Siphoning Arrow. We are seeing Nullification. So trying to deal with that Greymane. I like the choice. Shattered Armor, trying to help get that blow up. And then Face Smelt. So going with the slow here. We do still see healing static from Muradin, despite the lack of Thunderburn. And, yeah. A Blade of Armor. Earth Shield, not a surprise. So, some interesting talents there, but here comes the push. You know, you have Stukov, who can really defend pretty well with the Flailing Swipe. It is off cooldown. ETC trying to look for that Mosh. Big interrupts, of course, being the Stormbolt. But here it comes, charge on the back line. ETC powers diving in, trying to make sure that they get the lockdown on D.Va, forcing out the Ancestral on the pilot mode D.Va. Not the ideal target, but meanwhile the keep does go down. Axon Clone in the back, trying to take out Boozy Goozy, missed Cocktail. Axon Clone gonna go down, there's the Mosh. One person caught in it, Rhaegar. Gonna get interrupted there. Hollis, though, is so low, and he's gonna get taken out by the Archon. But now this Immortal is on the core, as is McNulty and Greymane, and the zoning from that nuke is absolutely huge. This core is down to 20, this core is down to 19, this core is down to 8, and it is going to go down just as the Immortal dies. D.Va gets the mech just in time. GG's. 2+2. Gonna take game number 1. And what a great game it was. Looking at the stats here, Vala did everything she could. Great healing, actually, from the Stukov. But it just ultimately came down to that double Greymane got value. And even though it was even on kills, 2+2 got the kills when they mattered most. They got the kills, especially towards the end there. You know, and with the two pretty high shield Immortals, they got a lot of value. So we're going to get set up for game number 2. We will see everyone in just 1 second. Be right back. Sorry to cut the music out, but that was a short break as 2+2 and Lionspeed head into map number 2. Let me make sure that the winner is properly set. As map number 1 went over to 2+2, they get the blue hexagon. And now we head over to Dragonshire. So we're going to see, Lionspeed, they had some roster changes. Some of their inexperience may have showed there, but I gotta be honest, they looked pretty good in that first game, even though they lost. They were able to get what they wanted. They lost the map overall. I think the draft from 2+2 was just extremely powerful, but I wouldn't call that game a stomp. Yes, map control definitely favored the Abathur team, but I think just a couple of, finishes on kills or a couple of just better positions in fight or better engages, and I think that Lionspeed definitely could have won that. Once again, not wanting to deal with this Kel'Thuzad. Actually, they didn't ban... I don't think they... Yeah, they banned Kel'Thuzad in the first game. Not wanting to deal with it, even on Dragonshire, which is a bit wider of a map, but there's still some good choke points here and there. And respecting the Tassadar, they're going to take that away. Tassadar did get a lot of value in that last game. So taking that off the table for Lionspeed. What is this going to put them into? First picks on this map, Dahaka's up. You can always see, see a Dahaka. I mean, even with his recent nerf, was a subtle damage nerf, a little bit of a tweak, a little twisty twist on the dial. But instead, favoring the ETC. Man, ETC's come back into the meta in a big way. He disappeared for quite some time, and he went from being in no games to being in every game in the course of just a couple weeks of HGC. And it's interesting because a lot of people still kind of miss the old ETC. This one's a little bit squishier, doesn't have that attack speed buff, but, he's still got that mosh. And dat mosh dough. Uther being taken, possibly a denial of the holy cow combo, but let's not kid ourselves. Uther's a strong healer. And then the Vala, so trying to deny that damage dealer that Lionspeed used so well. Asking Lionspeed a question. Do you have an alternative strategy? And is it as good as this Vala, or have we taken your comfort? Lionspeed gonna have to answer back with these next two picks. Uther Vala can be a strong combo, especially with an Oriole. This is not a bad double support map. You can do the 4-man rotation with the double support. Uther's going to give you that extra bit of CC to maybe go for an aggressive pickoff. You could see that with a Muradin, for example. I would not at all be surprised to see a double support, but we'll see what happens here. Dipping into the shot clock, 10 seconds to go. What is going to be picked? We got to look at something I think that can deal with the Vala. But we're going to see the Jaina. Now the Rhaegar, top tier support, no problems with that. That is an early Jaina pick, in my opinion. I don't think that... I know ETC Jaina is extraordinarily powerful. This early, I think Jaina can be pretty vulnerable to a Vala dive. Although Jaina can turn around onto it a bit, especially if protected by ETC. I think you maybe give up too much. Dahaka's still on the map, for example. Pairs pretty well with the ETC. We'll see what happens with that. Wanting to get their damage, though, and I can respect that. And certainly, who can fold a Rhaegar pick? Who among us can fold a Rhaegar pick? And a Zeratul ban, perhaps they scouted something. Maybe they saw a little scrimmy scrim. Maybe a couple games. I don't know. I haven't actually seen Lionspeed to see if they've tried to pull out that VP into a mosh, or VP into ring into mosh. A sexy thought, and Zeratul ban gonna shut down any options of that. And the new Rhaegar, because the range is a little bit shorter, but the throughput can be so high, Deathball comps, like with a Zeratul, you're going to be able to sustain him quite a bit, even if he's not your primary heal target. Let's see. For those just now tuning in, 2+2 did take game number 1 on Battlefield of Eternity. Here we are on Dragonshire. It's a 2-game series. Lionspeed looking to find a draw. They are going to ban the Vala. They are sniffing out a double support. What is the response? You still want something to do with the ETC. They've shown a Muradin that's strong. A Joanna. Ooh, Joanna Lucio. Love those picks. Sound barrier to deal with that attempted blow up. Great choice. With the Lucio, you're going to have such speed that you're just, especially with the Uther, you can stay in speed mode pretty early in the fights, and then in worst case, just pop your speed boost and everyone just leaves. You have the Unstoppable with the Joanna. You have Condemn and Bless Shield to help deal with Mosh. I like it. I like it a lot. I like this turn. They have a very, very strong 4-man rotation. They're not even going to need to mount on the rotation because of the Lucio. This is a really good draft. Put a good solo laner in there, and guess what? You get last pick. You get the counter the solo laner from Lionspeed. Very strong draft from 2+2. Joanna, of course, getting pretty significant rework. She had been probably the most stable tank. She'd seen so few changes. And now there's the Dahaka. So Dahaka was still up. He does finally show up in Greymane. So, probably the only, like, I don't even want to say off meta, because Jaina's certainly working her way back into it. But I would say the only off meta order pick was Jaina maybe that early. My fear is, in any given fight, Lionspeed's going to have one chance to get the engagement they want, and they're going to blow their cooldowns to get it. And if they get it, you know, there's still Uther to deal with the burst, and there's still Lucio to disengage. And so I would like to see a stage dive, maybe, rather than a mosh here. And my reasoning for that is you kind of maybe need that slow, but also a way for ETC to force engage. But here is the Rexar. As I get a whisper chat. So, sorry about that, guys. Just a teammate asking for some build questions, but I am casting, so you guys have my undivided attention now. I like that portrait. I like Vala's portrait. So Skigum gonna be out in the Vala, but we will actually come back to that in a second as we defeat the loading screen boss. I think Lionspeed. I don't think by any means there's a bad draft on the side of Lionspeed, but I think their draft is going to be critically more difficult to execute, given that I think Lucio is a pretty easy to execute disengage, and you just really want to let Vala poke and Rexar just control that top lane into the Dahaka.
10 seconds.
We are seeing a Rexar, much to the chagrin of me, because my teammate always wants to play him. But here we go. Hollis on Joanna. Axon going to be on that Uther. Skigum going to be on Vala. Rador on Lucio. And McNulty going to be on the Rhaegar. And on the red team, Varcheesi once again on ETC. Boozy Goozy going to be on the Dahaka. Azukai, whatever. She's Jaina. Sechel on the Rhaegar as a power slide onto the bear. Take that, Misha. Someone call ASPCA. Oh, but Joanna comes in with a big condemn. So much damage coming out. This game taking a little bit in return, but overall, HP bars were won by 2+2 there, and they're way ahead on this rotation. Lucio gonna lead the troops down. Only missing one minion of rotation down below. Or one minion is soaked. Joanna gonna anchor and just slow down the rotation even further. I love how 2+2 is playing this so far. Lucio gonna get stunned here, but no real follow-up damage. He's gonna be fine. Lucio players just loving that HP buff that Lucio got. Meanwhile, Boozy Goozy, really tough matchup with this Rexar up top. We'll kind of keep an eye on that and see if we can do it. But Skigum, not rotating with the team here. Hanging back and get the soak. Lucio, Uther, Joanna. Trying to bully Varcheesi. Varcheesi power slides in a bit. Low health, but Greymane and Jaina rotate down. Top shrine already taken, in fact. But both shrines, in fact, taken by 2+2. And Vala, not going to be able to get it. Rotation was called. She doesn't go for it there. But now Dahaka just getting so bullied into this lane. Already half the ammo gone from both of these towers. He's blown his essence. It's a really tough lane matchup for Dahaka. And with this Lucio, they're just working these rotations so hard. Power slide coming in, but just no real chance for follow-up. There's a boop with the stun. Not going to be able to get the kill, but that ETC just got absolutely chunked there. Meanwhile, Hollis in here, facing off against Greymane Rhaegar, just trying to get this lane clear. Now, Hollis not really in danger of dying. Boozy Goozy once again getting stunned by the Rhaegar, but this three-man push on bottom, it's a strategy I've been seeing a lot on Dragon Shire lately. Just get double support Navala and just siege up. And Vala gonna take the last of those cannon shots. Oh, almost dies to Jaina there. We're gonna be able to back up, and oh look, 2 supports. I'm totally fine. Nothing went wrong there. Dahaka manages to take top. Greymane has to rotate up to help out with McNulty. McNulty low on mana, gonna go ahead and take the B, but this leaves Rhaegar dealing with the Joanna mid. Now Rhaegar rotating down to bottom. ETC once again going into the power slide. Another strong boop. Blizzard's there, but just everyone gets out of it. And so far, 2+2, they're definitely controlling the map in the laning phase. We are seeing Greymane and Dahaka pushing up top. But right now, this 3-man on bottom is just so strong, and during this entire event, Joanna is soaking uncontested in mid, so it's a 2-1-2 split, but against a 1-1-3 split. But when you're putting 2 just to handle the Rexar, not really get too much value there, it's not a winning trade on the bottom, and it's certainly not a winning trade in mid, as already there's basically no tower armor mid. So if this Dragon Knight does get indeed picked up by 2+2, it can go straight to mid and do quite a bit of damage, as there's only 5 shots left between the 2 towers combined. Boozy Goozy trying to hold the top, prevent the cap. Joanna now on mid, gonna back up a little bit low on mana. Fight coming down here. Sechel and Lucio skirmishing while Varcheesi gets picked off by Skigum. Can Sechel get the finish onto Raytor? He cannot, and now a little bit of a bad position, gonna walk away. Azukai also a bit low. Vala vaulting forward for the chase with that double support confidence. Getting the second cannon tower, getting bottom. We'll see if a channel occurs. Right now, Big Wiz is the only one mid. He could potentially have a cocktail, but now Uther chasing him out, and this is going to be Rexar hopping into that Dragon Knight, going straight to mid. Really well played laning phase by 2+2. Controlled the map well, and got 1 kill and turned it into a Dragon Knight. Very, very well played. Probably should be showing talents. Apologies there. We are actually seeing the W build out of Rexar, which is a bit interesting. Now, Dahaka now facing the Joanna on top. Joanna going to maintain that lane while the Dragon Knight's up. Dragon Knight just kind of poking back and forth with the Greymane. Greymane baits out the charge, ducks behind the wall. Meanwhile, on bottom, though, Vala still trying to push in. ETC trying to give something of an advantageous engage, but just the sustain that's present here with both Uther and Lucio, it's damage that Jaina's not able to keep up with. Dragon Knight still being played patiently. Down to only about 10 seconds, though. Only got the wall mid, but wall bottom's already down. Wall top has actually recovered quite a bit over time of the mana. Dahaka pushing in Joanna up top. Not the most productive first Dragon Knight, but certainly not a bad one, as now Rexar going to rotate up the top and help deal with that Dahaka. Dahaka doing everything he can, just trying to get the well and then get out. The question is he going to get out? Now this is a 4v3 on bottom, kind of blinking back and forth between the 2. I don't see Dahaka getting out of here. He's going to try to get the burrow. Interrupt comes in. He does not get it. Greymane, meanwhile, trying to take the siege camp while the rest of his team fights. Does get it, just trying to alleviate some of this pressure. But with Dahaka down, Rexar going to be able to take this top wall, and that's going to be 3 walls down and make the next dragon pretty productive. And once again, Soak mid being missed by Lionspeed. And level 10's now. A full level advantage at level 10 in favor of 2+2. We are seeing, was that Boars was taken, in fact, as immediately used as a disengage. That's Blessed Shield. Divine Storm, so not the Divine Shield for the Vala. They're going to trust the sound barrier. They're going to trust just the raw healing that they can get there. As now, 4-man push onto bot fort. They're going to try to take it. 2-man defense. Rhaegar's going to have to rotate down. No, he's going to stay mid and try to get that soak. Good zoning. They're going to respect the potential blow up. But again, Greymane forced to help out Dahaka on top as we now reach the shrine phase. Didn't get a lot out of that 10 advantage. But we are seeing Ancestral. We are seeing go for the throat. So trying to get onto those squishy backliners. Get the burst damage to outwit this double support. As now Rain of Vengeance hits, but the whiff on the Blessed Shield is going to save Big Wiz there. I guarantee Hollis wants that one back. Boozy Goozy now coming in, looking for the engage. Ring of Frost is available, as is Adaptation, as is Mosh. There's the Mosh. It does catch. Oh, what a great cleanse Oh my goodness! What an amazing cleanse by Seichel, cleansing out the Rain of Vengeance to secure the kill onto the Joanna. And now, this is actually a 5v4, although ETC is so low, he's getting boot back, so much control, now it's 4v4, and it looks like, despite getting that first kill, Lionspeed gonna be forced to retreat here. But still, I mean, my goodness, Seichel, that was a good cleanse, sir. I doff my cap. But this is going to be Dragon Knight number 2, pretty much insta-capped over to 2+2. They're going to get, I believe, 7-minute stats off of that Dragon Knight because it was capped at 7 minutes. Keep in mind, the Dragon Knights, they got a bit of a buff. Dragon Knights, as all vehicles, are now unstoppable. No silences, no stuns, no nothing. Dragons are just not to be fucked with at this point. And now, with this approaching level 13 advantage, and they should get it off this cannon tower, this is potential to go for a keep, as this is going to be a 5v4 at the moment. Dahaka yet to burrow in. Now Dahaka coming in onto the back line. Gonna hear the roar, gonna know he's back there. Here comes Dahaka. Looking to make something happen. Condemn. Gonna prevent, but there's the drag on to Lucio. Great cleanse from the Uther. Power Slide comes in, but Face Melt knocks people out of the Ring of Frost. They still manage to get the Uther kill, though. But now the health bar slowly dropping on the side of Lionspeed. ETC goes down. The question is, who else is going to be able to get behind the wall? They traded Uthers for an ETC so far, but now Rexar gonna get this gate. Gonna get this front wall. Stun once again, though, onto Lucio. He's going to get hit by the Blizzard. 64 health. Is there going to be a finish? There is not. And they came so close, but they weren't able to get that little kill. Not a little kill. It would have been a big one. 4 kills to 2. Both teams still playing very patient. This double support getting a lot of value on the side of 2+2. Now the engage happens. Misha going to get killed. Stun onto Rexar. Now trying to go for the body blocks. Blizzard doesn't manage to get the lockdown. This Lucio speed boost is just doing so much to disengage off of these combos. That's the power of Lucio. He doesn't just make him... He's not just hard to kill himself. He makes a whole team hard to kill with that speed boost. I would expect to see actually reduced cooldown taken at 16 just because of how much value that speed boost has gotten, rather than Rejuvenesca. But we'll see. Level 13 talents, a couple of Burning Rages. We are seeing the multi-shot build paired with the Tempered by Discipline. Hardstyle, so going with gain armor on the wall ride, pretty straightforward. We actually are seeing a Q build Uther here, so pairing that with a Blessed Champion. Earth Shield on the side of Rhaegar, Running Wild, so Dark Flight range, Ice Barrier, Primal Rage, so trying to get some of the auto attack speed there, and then Face Melt for the slow once again. ETC at 14 stacks of Prog Rock would help out to get that soon, because Rhaegar is not able to keep up with the damage. Looking like there might be a collapse onto this Dahaka. Dahaka sniffs it out. Boozy Goozy going to start backing off. There's the stun, though, and now here's the Uther stun. Condemn, so much CC, gonna burrow, adaptation blown, trying to get that out. Will it proc? It doesn't proc in time. Dahaka dies right before that adaptation's gonna kick in. That is a feels bad, man. And now this is gonna be a top fort going over. They don't need to worry. They'll happily trade top fort because, you know, they have a couple of, well, they have a win condition on bottom now. They already have a structural lead. They're happy to trade out there. As we're going to see one squad move down to the bottom while Rexar caps that top. He'll go and clear those bruiser camps as well. And that'll be a weakened bruiser camp, but still a decent-sized wave that pushes up over to the Bridge of Death. Rotation now coming up from Lionspeed. Looking for something, not really seeing what they want. Going to come up and clear this bruiser camp. No, they're going to stay clear mid. Let Dahaka clear that. Just trying to push out. Level 16, though, going to be picked up on the side of 2+2. Going to give them that advantage into the team fights. We are still seeing the Rejuvenesca taken, so I'm full of shit. Mana Core Holy Renewal, so getting that extra healing. Notice they didn't take Blessed Hammer, because when a Joanna takes Blessed Hammer, God kills a kitten. But now there's a stun with the Blessed Shield, trying to get the Ancestral. It does land. Big mosh there, but the damage is just slow to react. The Ring of Frost was not in the right place, and Varcheesi is just so low, trying to get out of there. Almost escaped at Greymane, but now this is just turning into a bloodbath. Boozy Goosey gonna get behind the wall. Blizzard trying to zone him off. It does, but now that's the third fort falling. Meanwhile, big wave up on the top, draining that top keep ammo. We might see Rexar head up there, although it is the Bridge of Death for a reason. But now Vala gonna once again steal this Siege Giant Camp, and 2+2 is just overall taking control of this map. Just getting some water here, if you'll excuse me. Dragonite picked up, pretty uneventful there because it was off the kills. Great decisive no to you know, get it quickly, not waste a lot of time. This is going to be a 13-minute Dragonite, so pretty strong. I don't see this keep surviving through this phase, especially without really any ultimates. I mean, keep in mind, 2+2 has basically all of their ultimates up. The only one they can't pop, though, is that sound barrier. And with Lucio and the Dragon, they don't have the speed boost to escape, so this is something of an all-in here. Now, Skigum getting a little bit focused by Dahaka, but now Dahaka a bit out of position. ETC diving into the back. Separation, forcing Hollis into a little bit of a bad spot. Gonna take some damage. Boozy Goozy now steps up, looking for the stun, but there's so much turnaround damage. Cleanse just trying to get Boozy Goozy out, and he does get out with 70 health, and Vala gets killed on the turnaround. And now, though, Joanna's going down. This is the chance. Varcheesi gonna get the Ancestral, but it's not in time. And now Rador is just absolutely chunking on this Dragon. Rador does get the kill. And what could have been an absolutely huge situation for Lionspeed to start turning this game around now just turns into a situation where, you know, 2+2, yeah, they lost 2 people, but they gotta keep, they gotta safe disengage. You know, what can Lionspeed do with this map control? They're still trying to look for an engage, but Misha just doing everything she can to just be completely annoying. And doing it quite well. Varcheesi, a little bit upset with his performance. That's unfortunately his 5th death of the game. But now looking like they just desperately want to fight. They want something. They have the Ancestral. They're going to walk onto this point. Are they going to get the Misha? Big Wiz wants Misha. He wants a piece of bear meat. But now, oh, big stun onto Uther. Gonna force out the Divine Storm. But Rhaegar there with the slow totem. Sound barrier, though, now coming in, and with the speed boost Bless Shield combo, this is just not a good situation. Rhaegar gonna run away from his team, trying to save them. Azukai not gonna be able to get out of there. Varcheesi now slowed. He's not gonna be able to mount up, and with that Lucio, this is bad. It's gonna be very, very difficult for Varcheesi to get out of this situation. Turn around onto Rador with the Greymane, but now Big Wiz is the target. He's gonna run away from his team. He's gonna try to be the sacrificial lamb this time. Axon and Hollis all over Varcheesi, though. And now with these catapults here, if they focus ETC, he could be in a bit of trouble. Down to about 500 health. Not going to be able to get the kill, but they're just moving straight onto the core. Dahaka doing everything he can to disrupt it. Rhaegar will be up in 8. Jaina will be up in 10. Reign of Vengeance is a miss there onto Varcheesi. Varcheesi just trying to buy time, hoping something's going to happen. Stunning out the Vala, trying to not let her get that damage out there. Trying to buy time for Jaina. Jaina has to get this kill on Vala. Ring of Frost does land, but there's the cleanse follow-up. Reign of Vengeance going to prevent any further follow-up from Jaina. The core is down to 38. The core is down to 35. I don't think they're going to be able to get the defense here. Level 20s now being locked in. And it is, in fact, going to be 2+2, taking this series in a 2-0 set. The second game, a bit more one-sided. We did see some moments for Lionspeed in that series, and that's good, because this is a team, they had to switch 3 roster slots out, basically as the deadline for the season, to start the season was elapsing. But we are going to try to get a member in from 2+2 and have them walk us through that game. So we will be back in just 1 second, if you will bear with me. All right, we're back, and I am joined by McNulty, assistant captain for 2+2. McNulty, really good job in the solo lanes with the Diva very impactful in Battlefield of Eternity, and the Rexar, it is an unusual pick, but definitely worked out for you guys. Helped really dominate the top lane, force a response. So just wanted to congratulate you on your play there.
Thank you.
All right, so 2+2, you guys are a returning team from last season in Nexus Gaming Series. Coming into this series, knowing that Lionspeed had some changes, did you have to fight any underestimation, or was your team ready to kind of show up and be ready to do business?
Well, Lionspeed was pretty good last season. I think they finished third or fourth. They were kind of in, Division A kind of steadily lost teams, but they were
Yeah.
a pretty decent team last season. And I think this season there's a lot more teams that are very competitive. I think Division A is really strong this season, and they're definitely in the thick of things. If you are saying we didn't know that they overhauled their roster that much, so we went into this match thinking that this was going to be a decent match, right? Like they're pretty decent. So we didn't underestimate them at all.
Yeah, I mean, they had their moments in this game, absolutely. But you guys just seemed to have that killer instinct when you needed it. You turned around at just the right time to get the kill. Even when you got the first death, you guys managed to find an answer or to escape. So kind of, let's go to Battlefield of Eternity. You guys really got quite a hell of a draft for that map. I mean, you have the Greymane Rhaegar to burn the Immortal. Obviously, Rhaegar is just top support in the game right now as well. And you got the Abathur as well. Is that a comp that you kind of built on the fly, just like, oh, this is up and this will help us get our mission done? Or is that something that you've explicitly practiced?
So, I mean, teams that have played us a fair amount, both in NGS and as well as other tournaments or whatnot, we run Abathur on, I would like to say every map, but the one that is definitely noticeable because we played that, like, we were very happy that they chose BOE. That's one of our favorite maps. Yeah, we've run a lot of ABBA, and we've run a lot of ABBA specifically on BOE. So we're actually very well, I don't know, rehearsed maybe is the right word for it. Yeah, with that kind of strategy for BOE. So yeah, like we honestly I thought their drafts were pretty solid both games. I don't think they lost in draft by any stretch of the imagination. I think they had very competitive drafts. I think we were a little bit afraid of Task Vala. On BOE, Task Vala is a little bit overrated because it's a Q build Vala.
Right.
So it's not a straight auto attacker that's benefiting from like these shields playing up front. So I don't think Task has a very strong win rate on BOE specifically. So we normally fear Taskar on other maps. I mean, we banned it in the second map, but on BOE we're pretty happy to let it go through. Also, Task has very weak race himself, so even if you have Vala, the pairing is actually kind of like not that strong for like race or whatnot. But yeah, so the long-winded answer is we've played with that comp a lot. I thought their draft was pretty solid, but obviously I liked our draft more.
Yeah, and it worked out. The Diva play was actually just fun to watch. There were a couple times that you were a little bit deep, but otherwise, really really good job just not letting Arthas get comfortable. You bullied him all the way back to his keep wall at one point, and then there was one point that you wisely stayed in pilot mode just to help burn the Immortal. So it was overall great play. Heading into Dragatrayer. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick about the BOE, I want to give a shout out to the other team, the Sukov. I think it was Sechel. He I don't think I hit a single good bomb because I think he knocked my bomb away every single time I let it rip. So I was a little embarrassed. I didn't get a lot of bomb value because he kept displacing it. So and that's something we haven't thought about too much, like flailing swipe against Diva, because not a lot of people run Diva.
Right.
So not a lot of people know how to handle it either. And I think he did a particularly good job that game. So I don't think, I mean, for like my own play, I think I had a very weak game on Diva, and luckily my team played very well and we won. Whereas like I think I played a very strong round.
Yeah, the Rex. I think the Rexar game was actually a bit stronger. Kind of walk me through. Obviously with the advantage of the Lucio in that comp was, it seemed that with the build Lionspeed went, if they got the engage they wanted, they would be able to wreak havoc. And Lucio ensures that an enemy team just seems to never get the engage they want. Was that your thought process there?
Yeah, I mean, double support is super typical now in the meta. Like, it's teams we scrim or play regularly against are probably running it, 3 out of the 4 games in like a 4 game set or so. We we don't love double support because it's not, in my opinion, as much fun necessarily. But I think it's just so strong that we have embraced it and we also run it now in most comps. The Lucio is specifically like against tanks that can't engage super well. It's more so like a Johanna, but ETC as well because he has to like slide past his whole team. If
Mhm.
Lucio just jets away, then they tend to get like really bad engages. Lucio's just really strong as far as utility and movement. So the tanks that do well against Lucio are the ones that can like like a Nubrak. A Nubrak's like a Diablo, just get in there. I
Right.
think those tanks kind of counter Lucio, whereas Lucio has a pretty good pretty easy time against ETC, I think.
So I'm looking at the stats for Dragonshire. I don't have the stats in front of me for BOE. But kind of looking at it, I guess if you had to pick an MVP for your team tonight, who would that be?
Um. Well, I mean, like the guy that I pretty much vote for every single time is Axon. I just think I don't know if it's necessarily tonight, but in general, he's generally our best player or whatnot. He generally
Mhm.
plays the best. So I think his Abathur, we lean on him a lot on BOE for that. He normally doesn't play the second support, but kind of moving things around. And I think that was his first Uther game that we've had him on in like literally months. So, and I think he had like a really strong cleanse on Raider
Yeah,
late.
he had a really good cleanse. He had 1 or 2 really good D storms as well.
Yeah, so I feel like consistently he steps up even on heroes that he doesn't play a ton, and like Uther's one of them. So yeah, I would probably give I would give the MVP to him overall tonight.
All right, awesome. Well, with that, gonna go ahead and end the interview. Do you have any shout outs for us?
Oh, sure. My team has really enjoyed the NGS format. While ago, when there was just chair league, I really wanted to do like these best of 2 formats, like twice a week, that sort of
Mhm.
thing. And I'm really glad that NGS has been doing that because 2 games twice a week is like the perfect amount of time. It's like more or less an hour. So I guess shout out to the NGS because we really enjoyed the league, and my team has now been together. Like we've made some small changes as far as like sub in, a sub out kind of thing because we're kind of moving people around, and we seem to be kind of gelling pretty well. We had a rough series last week against Church of Bone Beatos, so we're looking for blood. We're looking to get some more points in the standings.
All right, well, with that, thank you again. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. And with that, we will draw this triple header to a close. Granted, again, I'm cheating. One of those was a replay cast. But with that, thank you for watching. I'm DB Smiley. You can find my articles at Galeforce Esports website. That's gfe.gg. I tend to post on Reddit. You can follow me at twitter.com/deathbysmiley, as well as just hit that follow button if you want to know when I'm casting NGS. I'm never going to ask you to hit a sub button because I don't want one, but, if you ever want to watch some NGS, you can find it here. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next time in the Nexus Gaming series.